Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time it is going to be on Good Boy. Now this movie involves a dog named Indy and his owner Todd, and this movie is directed by first-time director Ben Leonberg. As the dog and his owner Todd go into a haunted house, though his owner Todd is very, very sick. And throughout the movie, creepy things start happening in the house that causes Indy to want to, search the house and make sure, that worse things don't come around, especially since things aren't going so well for Todd. He's not really having the best relationship with his sister, and throughout the movie, things start happening to him. And all that we can do is hope that his dog can manage to save the day. Or pretty much his owner, because, well, yeah. Now, this movie had a very big premiere. The dog Indy, the star of the show, yes, he is the star of the entire movie. Like, Todd is pretty much like, well, you don't really see his face throughout the majority of the movie, but I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to be able to see this movie. Not that I didn't want to, but it's because I have so many movies on my list. And it's mostly older films because they're releasing so many classic horror films out at Regal. I saw Candyman a couple days ago. I'm actually about to go back inside the theater so I can do Nightmare on Elm Street. Tomorrow I'm going to do Scream. And yesterday, as I'm filming this video, they played, I'm not even joking here, Friday the 13th Part 3. And yes, they actually played it in 3D. Yeah, that was an interesting experience, knowing that it wasn't the red and blue 3D this time, but the actual, I don't know, it was a one in a lifetime opportunity, and I just could not miss that. But the main reason why it was also hard for me to, find a good time for me to watch this movie is because there aren't that many showtimes for this movie playing. There was only 2 showtimes for when I went to go see the movie, and it was during the afternoon. Like, there was no earlier screenings or anything like that. Some showings had just one showing, and this was during its opening day. And I do not understand why. Like, I wish, this is actually, I'm actually seeing this at a theater much further than where I live. I had to see some sort of new movie this weekend. There was also Smashing Machine, Bone Lake. I'll probably see Bone Lake. Smashing Machine, I'm not 100% sure yet. But for this movie, for a director's first time, it's very well done. I mean, this movie has a very small budget. Like, this movie took, I don't know, from what I know of, after the movie, they did do, behind-the-scenes footage, mentioning the fact that, it took, 400 days to get filming done. It makes sense, because it is a very short movie. How short? Well, about 3 minutes shorter than The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's how short it is. And we're living in a day and age where every single movie has to be nearly 3 hours long. So it's nice for an independent company to make a movie that's very short. And it definitely doesn't feel like it needs to be any longer than that. Mostly. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from the climax of the film. But I have so much positivity to give this movie. And of course, a lot of that has to go to the dog itself. It is terrific, and the director has mentioned that the dog doesn't know that he is in a movie. No, they had to make it seem like the dog was actually, aware of what was going on, actually making it feel like things are going on throughout the film. This is pretty much like how, owners would see their dogs, looking at certain areas, what's over there, boy? What's over there, girl? Why are these everywhere? Yeah, it's a very funny take, but this movie's anything but funny, okay? Now, despite the fact that this film's PG-13, it actually has some really good atmosphere, and it's done in the most creepy possible way that they can give the film, especially since it's not really all that heavy when it comes to jump scares. The jump scares are minimal. There isn't really a time in the movie where they just use, a big, massive sound effect to, just jump you out of your seat. I mean, I was really focusing on the film and just, imagining, okay, something's gonna happen here, but it's not really to the point where, it got, frustrating. I mean, there are some fake outs here and there, but it really never, took away from the overall immersion of what exactly was coming up, because the sense of, wanting this, this dog and even his owner to, have a good ending, which I'm not going to spoil anything here, but Yeah, I really felt for not just the dog, but the owner as well. Though oftentimes, he does kind of seem unlikable, but I get why. It makes sense. It's almost like in the same sense of Jack Nicholson's performance in The Shining, but not nearly as chaotic as that. Like, this movie has so much charm to it when it comes to what it's going for in its concept and idea. And I think Leonberg does an excellent job with his direction. Especially since, for a film on such a small budget, the scenery and the fact that it was taking place in this entire house and not really going anywhere else most of the time. Especially since, again, we hardly see his face. Like, the dog is the star of the show. We don't really see anybody else. We don't really see, any, human faces or anything like that. Almost like in the same sense of, like a Peanuts cartoon or something. So I really appreciate the fact that it takes an idea and does it in a way that, they want it to work. And I feel like it really manages to pay off. Other than the fact that I feel like the last act just needed a little bit more. There really wasn't a time where I felt like, I would want anything to change. Like, there isn't a time where what's going on in the movie, because there are things happening in the movie that definitely has you thinking. And I love the fact that, there's no times where the characters are just, mentioning what's going on, because again, there's not that many, so there isn't a whole lot of people to mention any, big parts to the movie to bring in, exposition for what's going on. No, it really has you thinking, and it does have, some elements to the film that definitely has you thinking why exactly these things are happening, because oftentimes Todd is watching a video, and, well, again, I really shouldn't get any further. You just have to watch the movie for yourself, and I do recommend watching it. Though, I'm not sure. Because of how short the movie is, some people might want to wait till streaming. I, for one, recommend seeing it in theater, even though, it is short, and of course, ticket prices, they have been going up. But still, for an independent company, I still recommend giving it a shot on the big screen. And, of course, I should probably mention, if you're worried that the dog is going to die in the movie, I'm not really going to spoil for you. I know it would probably be a little bit more helpful if I did mention that, just so you'll know, but I'm just not going to bring anything up. I recommend just going in with an open mind. Because, look, I know it's painful to know that a dog is going to die, and, if a dog's going to die in a movie or not. Yes, I have mentioned in some of my previous reviews where I mentioned that there's a cat in the movie and the cat doesn't die. Well, because the dog is a huge part to this movie, that's when I'm not going to spoil. So, yeah, but still, I recommend checking the movie out. Even though we don't see a whole lot of characters, everybody in the movie is still really good, especially the dog. And the dog doesn't even know he's in a movie, so it makes the experience all the more better. And in the end, guys, Good Boy, I'm glad I got to go see it. It has a very interesting concept that I think manages to pay off. It's very well directed, very well shot, and despite the fact that it has minimal dialogue at best, I mean, we do see people, at least the main guy talking throughout most of the time. I really like the way it was shot. Though the cinematography does kind of make it a little bit hard to tell what's going on. And I don't mean in the intentional scenes where they don't show the guy's face. I mean when it comes to some of the scenery and all that. And sometimes when he's talking on the phone and it's raining, it's kind of a little bit hard to, hear what's going on a little bit. But other than that, those are just nitpicks. I still think this is all around a very delightful film, and it manages to be frightening without having it feel it needs all those jump scares. It manages to have a really good build-up. Again, would have liked a little bit more from the last act, but other than that, Good Boy definitely feels more like a great boy. I really wish there were more showtimes for this one, because it has me worried, but then again, it is an independent film, and the credits only lasted 2 minutes long. And, that's the entire credits too. They do the whole, you get what I mean at this point, but yeah, glad I went to go see it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.